There's something about being in the water when it's up to my chest. Here I am, floating on the ocean. I'm 300 yards off the coast of Rico, Puerto Rico. I can feel my heart pounding through my scuba vest. When I turn my head, all I can see is an endless sea of waves. All the brightly colored buildings on the shore are now barely visible. I put on my diving mask, and I try to steady my breath. I poke my head into the water, hoping to catch sight of some landmarks. But all I can see is just a gradient, from clear to light blue to dark blue to infinity. Am I sure about this? Maybe I should swim back? But now the dive guide is signaling to descend. Oh well. So I fish my regulator out of the water and set it in my mouth. Salty, very salty. I'm just about to take it out, maybe even turn back when the dive guide shouts, "We're descending in 4, 3, 2." The world became so quiet at the moment when my ears sank down into the water. The only sound was the bubbles that came out of my regulator, popping around my face. As I descended, I checked my mask, equalized my ears, and made sure nothing went wrong with my tank pressure until I almost hit the seabed. To be more precise, it was not really the seabed, just a lot of blooming corals with all kinds of reefs. Their oranges, yellows, and light purples looked so beautiful and so different from any plants I've ever seen on the land. Different enough to make me think that they might even just be alien creatures. I was floating in the water, but it might as well have been outer space. There was an inexperienced inner peace arousing me, and I immediately fell in love with this brand new world. When we ascended to the surface at the end of our dive, the tide got stronger without much notice. So my legs were tired from all the movement I've done, and I was craving a cheeseburger right here from Marketplace. So I think at this point it's worth mentioning that the way you kick is different from swimming. So it's like if you're going that way, you're facing that way, and you're kicking like this, right? So that's probably not how you do it, but that's how I did it. And then, yep. So I before I started kicking, I kind of like returned back to check my position, and then I turned away from the shore and facing that way, and I started, right? And then I was trying to remember how far approximately I was from the seashore. So after kicking for about 5 minutes, I looked back again and realized I had barely moved. So I was nearly at the exact same location. That was a problem. And then I realized it's actually because of the tide, which is flowing perfectly against to the direction where we're heading. So another 5 minutes has passed. I got more impatient as I got more tired. And then another 5 minutes. I looked back again, hoping I made some progress, but not much. All the buildings still looked like toys, while the pressure of my tank level had already dropped way below the safety levels. I looked around, trying to find those underwater landmarks to judge my progress. The ocean seemed wider and darker and scarier than ever. But I focused on those landmarks beneath me, and I slowly made my way past one, and then another, and then another. It took at least 3 times longer to get back to the shore than it got to get out in the first place, but we were finally approaching the seashore. There's always a point where the tide flowing towards the inner ocean becomes waves hitting the seashore. So as I approached that point, the ocean changed its tone to me from "stay here, I don't want you to leave," to "fine, just get out of here." That was the moment when the ocean stopped supporting me, and with more than 50-pound weight on me, if I missed the chance of an average 2-second interval to stand up on the beach, I got put back into the ocean by the waves. I still remember the feeling of being rubbed on the small broken seashells on the beach over and over again, but couldn't really do anything about it. My legs remember it too, because I did not wear a wetsuit. And then, as I finally stood up on the beach and looked back to the ocean, it was the same beautiful view as I first came here, but there was such a mixed feeling in me. not only a love for one of the most beautiful sceneries that I've ever witnessed, but also a great respect for the Mother Nature with its ruthless power and unpredictability. I've done so many other dives since then, but I will never forget the moment of my ocean dive with water up to my chest and a world to explore below.